Okay, here's a little recap. We'd heard about a beautiful island that was said to be Scotland in miniature, and so we wanted to explore. We got overly excited about the ferry and all things Scottish really.
Look, it's got otters on it!
Then we spent an incredible first night camped on the beach. The next day we hiked up a glacier carved valley, and this was really beautiful. We ate black pudding for breakfast, cycled along the beach and realised that seals are probably our favourite animals. Then we stopped by the Lochranza distillery for a whiskey and spied some golden eagles, and that was pretty perfect.
Oh, wow, lovely.
Finally, we made our way down the coast in search of the legendary King's Cave and to find a place to camp. Sun-frazzled and completely exhausted, the descent turned out to be a bit spicier than expected, and we realised camping might not be possible. We're Josh and Sarah, by the way, and this is part 2 of our Scottish Island adventures.
We're alive. So Trudy and Trevor. Not looking forward to getting back up there, but let's not think about that now.
But after a long and pretty painful descent, we had finally made it to the King's Cave. So this cave goes back to early Christendom. There was a school and also used to be in the 18th century held for religious meetings. And there's a myth kind of debated whether Robert the Bruce stayed in here, and this is apparently where he saw a spider spinning a web and failing and trying again and again and again and again, and that motivated him ahead of a battle, but it's all quite interesting.
Did he win the battle?
So he did win the battle, and not just any battle, but the Battle of Bannockburn in the 13th century, which helped reclaim Scotland back from the English. And it wasn't just a King's Cave, the whole coastline was filled with really cool places to explore. Amazing, right?
It's like a little natural garden job.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So the caves had definitely been worth the journey, but the wild camping spot, that was a slightly different matter. So basically we were told by some people that they camped here, and then we just assumed it would be a really good spot. But we're right on the coastline. There's one small patch of grass which is right next to the trail, but this right next to this King's Cave. So unless we wanted to camp on the rocks, the options were the one patch of grass right next to the trail or inside the cave, which we decided might be disrespectful as it was so historically important. And either spot would mean waiting for hours because there were a lot of people around. And so we decided to head back up the hill and find a spot off the tourist trail. We're both hungry and pretty tired. Not so much hungry, but pretty frazzled. We've dropped down and we have to get back up to this headland. Also, what happens if this is the most beautiful thing in the world?
It may be.
And we miss that because we go back the other way.
But I think better the devil, you know.
Well, I don't understand that saying, but I'm going to say we go this way.
Okay.
I thought my shoulders weren't getting enough of a workout this trip. I don't think the footage really does it justice, but getting back up that headland was a killer, and we were smashed by the end of it. And bearing in mind that while camping in Scotland is legal, do you think we should have just pitched up in a touristy area or moved on? Interested to know what you think. 2 hours later, how many hours?
Yeah.
About 2 hours later, we're back on the road, back in search of a big spot. So, right, let's get down here, look for a spot. So, Lolly boo.
Boo for lolly.
This spot just looks as though it was like the perfect wild camping spot. This little alcove, which is...
The one that we saw from over there?
It looks almost like it was part of the golf course, but isn't anymore.
Yeah, this is perfect.
It's quite an incredible feeling, pitching your tent after a long day. Relief and relaxation washing over you knowing you found a temporary refuge. But there was still time for one more curveball. So Sarah's legs were covered in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ticks.
8?
Yeah. And we've just done the lower half. Now we're going to check top half. I'm impressed, you. For our first ticks. Yeah, I think you did real good.
Thank you.
How are you feeling after your tick session?
A bit meh. It's not nice. It's my first one. Just not nice, like seeing their like little heads like burrowed in your skin and their legs like flailing around.
For all little things and big things, you are definitely the tasty one.
Yeah. I know.
So we celebrate, you get an extra piece of chocolate tonight. Morning.
Morning.
How are your tick rashes?
Yeah, they seem to be okay. I've got red marks where they were, but can't remember.
No fever.
Huh?
No fever.
No, just sleepy.
I think that's a symptom of camping.
Oh.
After a really long day, it was so nice to take things slow in the morning, enjoy a beautiful sunrise and an empty beach. But the calm was pretty short-lived.
Slightly panicked because this really energetic dog has come over when we have a campfire. So Josh is giving him our scraps.
Oh, we don't need to clean the pots now. We hadn't realised, but we'd actually covered quite a lot more ground than we were expecting. And so our plan was just to take our time, follow our feet and see what interesting things popped up along the way. What was the one thing that you wanted to have today? One of them.
Coffee by the sea.
What does it say over there?
Bello Cafe.
Bello Cafe, 1 mile. Perfect. Right, found it. Happy? With loads of time and no huge distances to cover, we were just bike wandering along the coastline and it felt so good. I love that it allows you to embrace things that you might normally zip past because they very often end up being some of the most memorable parts of trips. So we're coming past, what's the name of it?
Eas Mor
The Eas Mor Waterfall, and we're searching for watery places.
We are.
So we locked up the bikes and now we're going to head off on foot.
It's hard to imagine as you stand here looking down the hidden valley that was once a desert 250 million years ago. Whoa. Or that 60 million years ago, Eliza Craig, the island in the distance, was an erupting volcano with lava flows just beneath your feet. Wow. These flows of lava can still be seen as you look at the waterfall. The top layer of stone and the sedimentary layers of wet and dry below them represent the hundreds of millions of years. 2 million years ago, you would have been standing under miles of ice. Whoa! What is the future of this valley? A green and fertile place? Or some more Martian landscape with oceans boiled off and no atmosphere caused by destruction of the planet? It's up to us to make sure for all future generations that the latter can never happen. That's really nice.
It was so cool stumbling across this little hippie haven out of the blue, and it got even better. What's it like?
It's incredible. You have to come in. This is amazing. This is absolutely incredible.
Wow.
Love many, trust few, and always paddle your own canoe. drink whiskey, play cards, stay wild. That one's for you, Joe.
It felt like we found a little treasure trove of memories and personal experiences, thinking of all the people that had come and left their little slice, some going back more than 10 years. Hoorah. There's so many things which aren't big attractions or big, well-known things, and it's very easy to miss. But every now and again, you chance it and you do find them,
luck out.
and it just really leaves an impression. And that library was just amazing. Really, like things going back to 2011, all these people's stories.
Yeah, that was the oldest one that we saw.
And inspiration, and just stuff like that was so easy to miss. I think it's amazing. Makes you feel a lot more fortunate. So now it's like 1-ish. It's in the afternoon.
It's definitely lunchtime.
We're going to drop down to the coast, have lunch overlooking like a bay to try and find some otters.
Yes.
There's something about sleepy coastal areas that we find really therapeutic, and we've been curiously looking at these islands since getting onto the south coast. Ailsa Crag is a volcanic island in the distance, and some locals had told us about the nearer one called Pludder. It had recently gone on sale for a recommended price of 350 grand and comes with 28 acres, its own lighthouse, a 5-bedroom property, and is meant to be a great spot to see birds, dolphins and basking sharks. If we had 350 grand, we would be very tempted. But for now, it seemed like the perfect spot for a swim. Last swim of the trip, partly because I really fancy a swim, and partly because just camped for the last 4 nights and I'm real filthy. So.
How you feeling?
I feel amazing. I feel so good. That's just like the icing on the cake. The water's perfect temperature, like a little bit exhilarating, but not like taking your breath away. And so we got to the last leg of the trip. Our ferry would leave in the morning less than 10 miles from here. The sun was shining, there was a little breeze in the air, and though it didn't seem quite right to celebrate finishing such a beautiful trip, we had our sights set on a portion of chips and a cider at the end. And there's nothing quite like finishing a trip on a long, gradual downhill. So that was the Whole Haggis.
The Whole Haggis.
And then some. We're back in Brodick. We got round a bit quicker than we thought. We thought we were going to camp a bit like back round, but we've been lured in by chips and cider.
Yeah.
Congratulations. The Whole Haggis.
Done the Whole Haggis. So I can have a bed now.
And with our ferry leaving the next morning, it gave us one last camp. So we thought, why not finish off where we began? We sat on the beach, soaked up our last morning and watched our ferry come in. So that was the Whole Haggis. 4 days on Isle of Arran.
It's been beautiful.
We ended up in the spot we camped in the first night.
Because it was quite a good spot.
Because we knew it was a good spot.
Yeah.
But it's been absolutely beautiful, and I think really the trip that we both needed. It's been a crazy few weeks, so to go. I realised this morning that I've not had a watch on for the whole of it, and to not be routing, you didn't have to navigate at all, to not have a watch on, and just to have not really a plan.
Yeah, just to wing it.
It's just incredible. Such a beautiful blend of wildlife, landscapes, warm locals and Scottish charms. What a trip. Thanks for watching, folks. Stay tuned for the next adventure.